We are back. Hey guys, thank you for joining us once again. We are so happy to have you here. But seriously, how happy are we?
Always happy.
And you know what would make us even more happy is if you would send us some fucking interesting questions on the hotline. No, we do love some of them, but that is the most important thing. We need you guys for our show.
Think outside of the box.
Yes.
And not, like, really, I know some of the things are like people are curious about. Ooh, that fly loves your hand.
So because I stink.
But we really want you to try to think out of the box. Like, I think the last episode, if we're going in order, I liked the questions about, you know, how much I make and whatever. So try to...
And you can write them in as well if you're feeling a little bit nervous. You can do it anonymously.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's what makes the show go round. We want to be really interactive. So, like, feeling like you guys are in the room with us and that you can have that direct channel of communication with us. We love to chat. That's why we are here. Sorry to yell at you, but I'm just gonna get into it. How are you? You know the drill. Good. What's up, my homegirl?
I'm good. You're homegirl.
What is up, my homegirl?
I'm good. Let's start with you. What have you been doing?
Just fingering my pussy and
Nice. I stopped fingering mine.
Really? Nails too long?
Yeah. And I just decided that I want it to be like
tight.
Tight.
So do you need to like do exercises?
Yeah, that? No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna make up something. Right now. But yeah.
I'm doing mine. Do you know that guys are supposed to do them for their bum holes too?
Really?
Oh no, I don't think it's for their bum holes. I think it's for their prostate, like to like have a tight, so you don't pee yourself, I guess.
Oh, I see. More like the urethra, maybe.
Maybe. I'll have to get back to you on that one. But yeah,
things have been good. Pussy. That's good.
Yeah. What have I been doing? Just a lot of work stuff. I know. Planning out this pod with the team and trying to just get back into the groove of things. But yeah, what about you?
Same old. I mean, let's see. What have I been doing? I'm always going on trips. I'm always, you know what? I did, and it was tragic.
Oh.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I found another place in the Grand Canyon, and actually a fan, it was on a tweet that I made about glamping, and they actually commented one that's really good, so I thought we would go.
Oh, yes, I thought we would. Do you know what I want to do? Is I want to go to We Care. It's this fat farm where they so you can't eat for the whole time that you're there, but it's
nice.
But it's like not just for fat people. No, it's amazing. Like all the biggest celebrities go there. So basically it's expensive, but it's good. So yeah, you can only have liquids while you're there, but they distract you with things like meditation, you do therapies, you do like yoga exercises and things like that. You get 1 million facials.
Let's do it.
So it takes off every bit of toxin that you've had, and you're only allowed liquids. So by the end of it, you have significantly lost weight also as a byproduct of it. But you do just like purge a lot of the bad stuff. A lot of people do that.
I actually love to do the intermittent fasting. I used to do it all the time. And now I don't want to fall too underweight. But before, I really liked it. Honestly, for my gut, it helped it clean itself and cleanse itself.
Well, that's the only time where your body can start rejuvenating is when it's not focused on
bad food,
processing food, which I think is a lot of my problem because I'm constantly
You love to snack.
Yeah, there's not my stomach doesn't go an hour without having something
really
put into it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Food addiction.
Now,
but let's go on that trip.
Yes, we should. Definitely.
Oh, you know what? We wanted to talk about Lena the Plug and Adam 22.
Shit. Yes, I need your hot take on this. So what, first of all, the fuck is going on?
So Lena the Plug and Adam 22, from my understanding, actually had their own podcast, but it was kind of like, and I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain it was
this by saying by the time this comes out, you probably might be a little bit behind. For sure. But yes, continue.
So they have their podcast. And then they talk to the girls, and then they end up doing a threesome scene with them.
So they do it on the podcast?
Kind of. It's like a sex podcasting. Very creative. If it's something similar to a podcast or something like that, maybe more of a casting couch type of thing. I think, from my understanding, he does scenes with other people. She just didn't for a long time.
Do you know her personally?
I've met her, actually. They're both very, very nice. I don't have, I would never have anything ill to say about them. But when I saw that she did a scene with somebody else. And I know this is maybe very hypocritical. I loved the dynamic between them, that she didn't shoot with anybody else and they just had the threesomes, and I loved what they had. I thought it was actually very powerful as a couple for her to not be jealous and for them to I've always really wanted that in like a relationship where we have lots and lots of threesomes and it's very comfortable. But I can see how she did it for her career.
Right.
Because the fans only want to see so much, and they could only see the same thing so many times. So I could see why she did that. My theory, honestly, has the scene come out?
I don't know.
I don't think it's come out yet. You know what my theory is that it's all a lie just to get a bunch of PR on them.
I just heard that.
And she really didn't do it, and then they're going to come out and say that they didn't actually do it, and I will genuinely be so happy if that happens.
So you know what I just heard before was that they did do it, but they signed the guy to their talent agency, and that they did it so then they could all explode and make money off it together.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Orchestrated, even the fallout after it. But all I do is I see it on TMZ.
It's a lot.
It's everywhere at the moment. They've had billions of views on this whole situation. And I was cringing because I was kind of like,
PR
this is really like everyone's like reaching for this attention situation.
I think it's because of the people that saw it and commented on it, like that what's that guy that is so annoying? Is the bald guy that thinks he gives the best advice.
Joe Rogan?
No. What's the guy?
Sorry.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
He even talked to them and stuff like that. I don't know why I keep picking up my pen. That's weird.
I was playing with it the whole time before.
I'm so businessy. But I think it's the people that have commented on that why it's gotten so much PR. Because let's face it, they're not the first couple that
it's viral. Started. I mean, and that's why. And then people weighing in because it keeps running the news cycle every day. First of all, they did it. Then he's making pot shots at the boyfriend, and the boyfriend's coming back and getting back at him. But they're planning it out every 24-hour news cycle, so then it's something new every day. So it seems way too planned out. And I think they signed that guy. What was the guy's name? Jason Love,
yeah.
Yeah, and they signed him and said, let's do this, we'll blow it up, and then everyone makes money at the end of the day. And we are all sitting there with our popcorn.
Watching. I genuinely am watching them, whether it's true or not. I'm invested now.
Yes, and maybe because we're also looking like, who's she going to fuck next?
Yes.
How is that going to play out? Like, this is a whole show.
Are they doing it again? Does he? Did it go too far for him?
If you haven't seen it, look it up. Lena the Plug, Jason Love, Adam 22. How do I know all these people's names now? Oh my god,
dude! I don't even
have like porn stars and that in my like. This is on my gay old Instagram with like just torsos of men, and this.
It's so true.
It's so big.
Our podcast Instagram, I got on it, and I literally had to text him. I was like, James, I got on it, and like the discovery thing was all men's torsos with.
She goes, "Who's been in here?"
8-packs. Literally, they're all just. All men and naked.
Shut it. All I care about is like making myself feel bad by looking at other guys that are damn them, their sexy bodies. Heartbreakers Hotline. Let's get into some of these really good voicemails that we have. Let's play the first one.
Hello, Elsa. My name is Zach. I was just wondering how to deal with people on the internet who claim to be you asking for money, and how I might find or date a girl like you. Thank you. Bye.
So that's two different questions. How does he deal with people claiming to be me? Honestly, you have to only look for verified accounts. And I know that we actually got one deleted that was a fake account that was able to get verified on Twitter, which is so crazy. But the only way you're able to get away from the fake accounts is to only communicate, which I would never, I'm sorry, but I would never from my Instagram or Twitter would I DM people just because the overabundance of DMs that I would get. You don't have
Cash App. You're not telling people
No,
to Cash App you.
No, never.
Unless
I never asked for money.
I mean, to give you a little background, so like her Twitter there was a Twitter. The fake accounts are really, really,
they're really good.
hard to. They're good.
They're good.
So like, don't feel bad about it.
Yes.
I mean, there was a Twitter account with 200,000 followers
that was verified.
That was verified by Meta. And that was literally, we couldn't even get it taken down. Finally did. But it was like, what the fuck? How are you supposed to realize that's not you, right?
I think the only way is to stick to strictly OnlyFans, Centerfold, Fansly. Those are the only way you're truly going to be able to communicate with any stars.
There are some Facebooks with 500,000 followers on
I know, and the only way you can is to be safe through those things, and even make sure that those OnlyFans are valid too, because I think they're even making fake OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, there was one. We only just got your Elsa Jean back.
I know. They stole my exact name.
You know what would be a good tell is don't, most of the time though, send money to anything that's not OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Right?
Or in exchange for content, for a custom, or...
Yeah, something real. That can actually, not just texting, because like...
Where you're actually receiving, you know, that not just, hey, meet up with me here. I also don't meet up with fans either.
So that answers the next question. Yeah. Is that you cannot date a girl. How to date a girl like you. Fans. You said that you would fuck a fan before.
I have fucked fans before, but as for for safety reasons, I don't do it anymore. And nothing's ever bad has happened. But the fans that I've fucked, I didn't know they were fans at first, and then they kind of tricked me into admitting that they were fans. I think the only way you could date a girl like me would randomly be meeting me somewhere. But like trying to get a hold of me online only exists on OnlyFans.
Good note.
Yeah.
The next question is from Annabelle. This may be a difficult thing to deal with, but I think my boyfriend watches too much porn. The thing is, we often watch it together when having sex, and it can be really fun, but I'm worried it's becoming a problem. When we don't watch it, he seems like he's less into having sex, and it's harder for him to come. I can tell he has to go into the bathroom sometimes after and watch it on the phone. I don't want to be a bad girlfriend, but I don't always want porn to be on while we have sex.
Right. What do you think?
I think that, I mean, it's like an ego thing for her because she's like kind of butthurt. I just don't think porn is ever a problem, really.
I thought it was cool all the way up until he goes into the bathroom separately to finish himself. That actually sounds like an addiction, a porn addiction. To have somebody in real life and then that's what you decide to go do is watch a screen. It sounds like an addiction to me. It doesn't sound like it's anything to really do with her. As a partner, and I actually think it's very valid for her not to want to always watch porn. I think it's very cool for her to even do it majority of the time.
She does sound like a cool girlfriend. So I would say get him some help, maybe from like, you can find stuff like that online.
Try to have a conversation with him and say it's becoming too much. And it actually
you can get desensitized to real sex then, and that's what it is, because he's not able to. That just seems like something you'd actually need to spend like a third. You know what, there are programs, SLA, like sex and love addiction. So you would probably need to go to one of those 12-step programs and then wean yourself off it.
Cleanse yourself
after you've done a month or two without it, you'll notice sex will be different. For sure. This next one is from Anonymous. How do you give better direction to a guy on how to eat you out? I don't know what else to say other than that I like my clit sucked and to be fingered with a come here motion.
So the question was,
how do I give better direction on a guy to eat you out? Like, what would you say to a guy? Like, a couple of tips on like what he needs to do.
Ask. I think it's as simple as asking the girl, what do you like? What can I do better? Does this feel good?
And not all girls have the same, like,
not all. Yeah, just like everybody's different.
So do you like your clit sucked then? Like, or is that like a regular thing?
It depends on who's doing it. I really think it depends on the person. I could say yes, but then if someone does it too hard, then no, I don't like it. I think it's all about communication.
So then they need to have that constant channel of communication. And once you do it a couple of times, then they're going to know what you like. So it's not always going to be having to go through the manual and be like, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Yeah, that's a little annoying and a mood killer, but it's not going to be like that forever. You're going to get to know each other.
I think really the only real advice is to, once she's about to come, do not fuck it up and go faster or change anything. Once guys, that means stay
they get excited and then they start moving.
Exactly the same. Please stay the same and do not do anything different.
I love that one. That's so good because guys just get so excited. They're just like, they're like, ooh, now I'm going to do it faster. No, you're already doing the thing. This next one is also anonymous. I am straight, but I like watching gay porn. I'm interested in pegging and eating ass. I'm a lady, by the way. I'm straight, but I've been watching gay porn for years, and now I'm interested in pegging my boyfriend and eating his ass. What does this make me?
I watch gay porn.
So women on women, though?
Oh, I thought she meant men on men.
I think because of the pegging and stuff, yeah. She's talking woman on women. And you know
really?
What?
Pegging to me sounds like she I think it said she wants to peg her boyfriend.
Right.
So to me, that sounds like she's watching two guys.
But also lesbians would be pegging each other.
I think it's called strap on. I think it's like pegging, I think is... I don't know. I could be wrong, but
you know what, Maria, Holly's roommate, she watches gay porn though, and I never really understood it because she's a lesbian and she watches two men going at it. Like, what could be hot for a lesbian about two guys having sex with each other?
I don't know.
And she's totally a lesbian, so
she is.
Just to give you some like,
I don't know about that. Like from a lesbian doing it, I think it's the penetration. Like it. I think in our brains, we associate penetration with feeling good. And I think it's because it's two guys, it's constant penetration. I know for me, because I thought about it, why do I love watching gay porn? I genuinely think I'm so straight. Even though I love to be with women in threesomes and even like when I'm drunk or whatever, I think I'm so straight that I rather see two cocks.
I get that.
It's so twisted. Because it's so like backwards, but I think for me,
you know what I used to like watching was two guys accidentally touching the dicks because they're both in the vagina. Like so, it's like rubbing accidentally, and it's like a little bit gay.
I watched that too.
I love that shit. Accident.
Have you ever watched two guys sharing a sex toy?
No.
Yeah.
Shit, that sounds hard. Oh my God, you need to give me a list. Two guys sharing a sex toy. Do they clean it after the other ones used it?
No, they go right in.
Oh, hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, double jizzer.
Try it.
Oh my God.
I love two guys.
I'm not trying it. I'm way too much of a germphobe, but I'll watch it.
Oh, but we didn't answer the girl's question. She wants to start pegging.
Yeah, so no, but she's straight still, right? She is straight. Like this lesbian... watching the gay porn, I don't think it makes you either way. I think that we watch.
She should ask her boyfriend if he's into it and just try it.
Yes, definitely do that. And I don't think it.
And if you want to eat his ass, go ahead. I think no guy is usually opposed to that. They might act like it at first,
except for me.
Oh, right. You don't like that.
But I ain't got any problem with anyone else doing that. Okay, so listen, guys, I need advice for sucking an 8-inch dick. I've been gagging and eventually have to stop. What should she do? It's an 8-inch dick, Elsa.
You don't have to go so deep to the point.
But then what are they supposed to do? Just gnaw on the side of it, like
corn on the cob it?
It's too big to put in your mouth.
There's actually sprays that can numb the back of your throat.
Also, she's supposed to just like ruin her esophagus.
No, you just spray it like, or you put it on your finger. You swirl it around, and then it actually numbs the back. I say I have a horrible gag reflex. I will throw up over a smell.
Yeah.
So I don't go deep, no matter how big it is. I won't do it.
So could you just like put your mouth on the top of it and just, oh yeah, that's what
you got to use both hands then.
And a lot of spit. You've said
both
that before.
hands and don't go deep.
And a lot of spit. Just pretend your hands are your mouth.
Yeah,
and then they won't notice the difference. Just be like, look up, look up.
Yeah. Go so fast and make it so sloppy they don't want it deep.
Yeah. Okay.
Or get it done quick in 5 seconds. Just get them to come.
Oh, yep. We have another voicemail.
Yippee! We love the voicemails. I hope it's somebody masturbating, but a girl.
I just wanted to see about, is it wrong to want to have phone sex with you? I would love it.
Is it wrong to want to have phone sex with you?
Is he talking about you or me?
He's talking about me, obviously. And no, it would not be wrong. My number is 424.
You love the phone sex stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Was he asking for, like, is it wrong to have phone sex with people in general?
Yeah. Yeah, let's just make it general.
Okay. No.
I think that's hard.
I think love phone sex. I always on the phone when I'm talking. I don't love to have phone sex. You know.
What about your story of how you got yourself moist? I
already said it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I know.
She's gonna hit me.
No, it's just, I'm trying to give him new stuff. I love phone sex, but I don't think it's wrong.
Mm-mm.
And now.
As long as you have a good international plan, if you're overseas, yeah, go for it. Okay, this next one from Anonymous is, what is the best way for a guy to handle a queef? I don't give a fuck if a girl queefs. I put the air in there and it's got to come out. I was just wondering how women prefer to be handled since it does happen. I think it's best to acknowledge it so she doesn't get in her head. But should I say it's hot or make a joke like, I filled you up, now I got to deflate you? Thanks.
I don't know about I gotta fill you up and now I gotta deflate you. I think that's better than making the person feel bad for her.
I don't think make a joke of it.
I don't think making a joke is wrong. I think that's a pretty that's almost would ruin the mood if someone was like, yeah, I'm filling you up with air,
let's watch you deflate.
Yeah. What's those a whoopee pad or what's
that rap that goes on Instagram? It's like a queef is when the queef is this. What is that? Queef is when the air come out the coochie meat. Or like, oh god, it's some funny thing. Look it up.
Should they play it? No, I don't think make a joke. I think you can make a slight joke or you can just ignore
not acknowledge it, right? Or do you just let it happen and be like,
I say just let it happen and just, you can even, I know in porn they say, I love it when it talks to me.
Oh, I love when it talks to me.
Yeah, and then just leave it as that. That's a little bit sexier.
I love it when it talks to me.
Yeah, I know, right? Queefs are so awkward because it startles people.
But I like that they've said, though, that I put that in there. Like, it's not weird. Yeah. I'm literally filling you with air. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could just, I don't think making a joke is bad as long as it's not a mean joke. Like, it stinks. I really
Wow, fish farts.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Okay, so listen, this next one is so my speed. And it's kind of hilarious.
I'm scared.
Okay, so I've had an idea. I want to masturbate in separate rooms. I wanted to fill out suggestions for an idea I had to try with my husband. We are both men. He's uncomfortable masturbating in front of anyone, including me. So I've been thinking that we could have an evening or an hour when we both take toys and porn to separate bedrooms and spend time masturbating solo. And while we're doing that, we'd be sexting each other, sending links to the porn we're watching, and talking about who we're chatting to. Has anyone tried anything like this before? Any thoughts in general? I mean, imagine this is like you're in separate rooms.
I know.
Watching separate porn. Like, this is not a kink to be together.
I like that they're really thinking out of the box.
Like,
I think it's really, really creative. And I think they should really try it and really do it. It might work well for them. Like, I'm never opposed to anything sexually that's I don't like anything that's illegal. I'm not cool with, but that sounds like different. Everybody's always looking for something different.
It sounds like something I used to tell my ex-husband, like, just finish yourself off in another room on the other side of the house, and like it'll be really hot if I'm not there and we're definitely not talking or looking at each other.
You just did that so you didn't have to finish it. It's not because you thought
so
it was
easy.
really
You're
hot.
having the best time in another room. So I can make it like I did that for you.
I like it. I'm gonna try doing that next time I don't want to get somebody off or I'm just over it. I'll be like, wow, it would be really hot if you jerked off in the bathroom and didn't speak to me again.
Exactly. It's like a kink for people that are feeling really tired.
And guess what? It's even hotter when you block me.
We don't speak for 3 days. You're just masturbating. Oh my god, I saw
a billboard. I think it was on La Cienega, and it was like Mariah something unblock me, and it was a guy's number. And I decided that if a man doesn't do that for me, they have to be on that level for me. I want a billboard that says unblock me.
And they have money. They bought a billboard.
You love money.
Oh, sorry. Okay, fine. Well, I'm just saying it might be a little bit more like appealing if somebody's taking out a billboard.
It was a small billboard. How about that?
Oh, gross. Let's see his tax returns first, and then we'll decide.
You know I call you Jamesy to everybody. And they even go, yes, I do call you Jamesy. I even have you saved on my phone as Jamesy.
My boobs are sweating like you said yours were before.
Doesn't feel good, right? Okay, so you're my manager, but you're also, I love calling you a pop star. because you are a pop star.
A pop star.
How long have you been making music, and what inspires you to write and create?
Definitely my everyday experiences, like, or other people's as well. A lot of it comes from other people's, because I'm always watching and listening and like dissecting other people's drama or like relationship stuff.
Oh, so I see. That's what you
like to observe, like the world and how everyone is kind of doing their thing in it, and then I take that back, and when I'm placed in the studio and I'm like create something now, I'll think about, you know, the different dynamics people have and how we feel about ourselves or others. So it's a nice little outlet. I always loved writing. Like English was my favorite subject. It was the only thing that I could really wrap my head around, because I don't know how to add two together. Like, really, do
you write because the next question is, what's the songwriting process like? And I was going to ask you too, do you write for other people, or are you really
so the first song I ever had out there, which was like kind of what made me do it as a career, was for a guy named Brian McFadden. He was like part of this huge group called Westlife in the UK. They like outsold the Beatles, huge, and they were in Australia at the time, and I'd showed him a song that I had sang and wrote myself, and he decided to take it and release it. So I got my first gold record, and it was number 2 on the charts. I got to see it performed on the live Australia's Got Talent finale, and then I watched it skyrocket up the charts. It's actually really funny, because at the time we were all in this hotel room together after AGT finale, and then they were like, if it gets to number 1, you have to masturbate on this Sayo, which is like a biscuit. Luckily, it got to number 2.
Why always masturbation?
I know, it was sickies, and it was like the guy who dared me to do it was like the Ryan Seacrest of Australia on Kiss FM, so it was like kind of a funny time back in Australia. Chemical Rush by Brian McFadden is the song, and it was released through Universal Music, and yeah, that's what made me feel like a writer, because I ended up getting it was number 2, and I got a gold record, and yeah.
And that's a gold record. Do you is it like in a frame? Do you get it as like
yes,
one of the, or
but you have to pay $500 for it, but you're eligible to have it because you've sold a certain amount.
You have it, right?
Records. No,
you don't have it. I'm gonna get you that for your birthday or for Christmas. That's
we should put it in our podcast room.
Yes, I didn't know that. That's what I'm gonna get you. I love thinking of like when someone says something, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a good present.
Yay! I know, it's very cool, very personal.
Yes, I don't know why you don't have that. All the times we've spent money.
Well, because I'm a vagabond and I've spent too much time in one place.
You should be prouder of that. You gotta have that.
Thank you.
How long have you been friends, and how did we meet?
It's been a couple of years now. We met through Holly at Kitchen 24 in West Hollywood. We were sitting there, and she was
our
saying,
mutual friends.
Oh, I love this Elsa. She's like so great and blah, blah. I think one of the first questions I ever asked you was, what does it feel like to have all those millions of people following you? I was just kind of perplexed by it, because I was like, how does that feel? Like all those people I think you were telling me about like, if I take a picture of this drink and then all these guys buy, I was just like, wow, this is a whole other world that I've never like experienced before. Because I
remember I had just got my lips injected.
Yes.
And I was drinking and I was like, my lips are going to fall off if I drink it.
Right.
Just like, that's the number one thing they say. Yeah.
Really fun girl. And then we kept seeing each other a couple of times, but then we went to Miami together as well.
He lived in the same building as one of my friends. So that's why we were all, and you were always at her place. I was always at her place. So we just were always around each other.
Yeah. And then I guess it was, so Miami we had together, and then a little bit later, and then just decided to pull you out of retirement to come and do some other.
And how did you start managing me?
Well, it was my suggestion to you that you were too fucking awesome and had just something like the charisma and the personality on you, and not to like poo-poo. Like, I wasn't ever exposed to the world of like adult entertainers and stuff like that. But to me, I was like, this is so much more than that. Like, there's just something else that I'm like, I think it added an extra layer that was kind of cool, because it's edgy that you were an adult, and that's so fucking awesome. But the fact as well that it was such a juxtaposing idea, though, that this person that looked so mainstream and sounded so mainstream could also have this Rolling Stone past of like being in an adult world, and also be one of the biggest porn stars in the world, but was only 26 years old. I mean, there was just so many appealing bits that I was like, imagine if I could use that as like a case study, and like, I love creating brands and like being able to put the creative pieces together. Like, you're already on your way there. But to be able to do that with a friend too was
I know. I was just
awesome.
Going to say that I think it really has helped us, the fact that we're really close.
Yeah.
And I think that makes you like just you really don't let people say no to me.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like you don't talk like my next question. You're responsible for my covers of Harper's Bazaar and Glamour, and
you're responsible for those.
No, but you are, because you hounded them. I know that you did. Don't tell me that you didn't hound the fuck out of them to put me on the cover. I know you did. I know how you are, even with just like little things. So how did you do it?
I'm obsessed, and I get obsessed, like what we were saying before, or if it was in a previous episode, I don't know which one we're on right now. But I was saying that I definitely I have tunnel vision when I set my sights on something. But at the same time, I knew you were going to be able to execute the brief of what we needed to get there, and that it was going to make a difference for you. So like we got some no's for some magazines.
That's what I'm saying. But I know you hounded them.
You were not allowed in a lot of places where I would have liked, but then ending up, I think my favorite was the Harper's Bazaar one. It just ended up like.
Well, people don't know that.
We did that before Barbie was even blowing up.
I know, but people don't know that, and he didn't tell me until the day of that. Didn't a photographer say he was not going to shoot me?
Yeah, last minute pulled out
because he didn't want to shoot me. A lot of I think that your confidence in me is what made everybody else so confident that it was going to work.
And then they all come around in the end anyway. It's so ridiculous, because at the end of the day, if you just keep pushing, they end up being like, oh my God, we love that. And every single person reposts it. Everyone's excited to be there. And when people try and tell you to do it a certain way, and
don't listen.
Just
stay
don't
true
listen.
To yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be a lot of chatter in the meantime, because everyone's so fucking annoying with what they think you should be doing.
I know everybody.
Stick to your plan.
Everybody loves to. I mean, I tell people this all the time. I know that my company is literally me. Like, you know how people own companies? My business is literally myself, but because it's myself, I have a lot of feelings about people's opinion.
Yeah.
And people, because I'm the company, people think, oh, let's just put her here. Let's just do this to her. But I'm a human. And I don't think people really like remember that. I know that I'm literally a human, even though I'm my company.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to get into the entertainment industry, just with modeling, acting, performing. You're very mainstream. So how do people get into mainstream world?
I would say they have to have something that they actually want to do. I think that maybe finding what you're actually good at, like it can be anything, but there needs to be something there that makes you come alive, because you're going to have to do it repetitiously. You're going to have to do it over and over and over again, even if it's like chatting in interviews like this, you're going to have to do that so many times. So if you're not good at it, or if you don't like it even, I mean, you don't have to love it, but like if you, usually a bit of love.
What would you say to somebody, because a lot of my friends are like, how do I get James to manage me? And you always say you have to have something that you want to do. And a lot of them can't think of something that they want to do. So how do you help someone figure out, is it just the thing that they're most passionate in?
Find someone to be around them that can pick the pieces out of them, because we're not all walking around thinking about that. But if you have someone it's like a therapist, like, so they're drawing out the pieces of information, and then you get to look at them and go, oh, I am good at that, or oh, I do like that. Most people aren't even bringing up the conversation with themselves. So getting someone that can draw it out of you and be like, do you like this or that? Or like, let's trial and error this. Did that feel good? Oh, you weren't that great at that. Oh, that's fine. You didn't love it anyway.
A good point. I think people don't realize that when it comes to the entertainment industry, it's a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
And majority of the time, I think it is failing.
Well, because young people as well don't exactly know what they are good or not good at, or haven't been presented with that challenge yet, and you'll need to figure that out. But most people are just getting by coasting around because they're not thinking about like, how do I... But if you do want to do something, you're going to need to then it comes up and you trial and error things until you find something that you're good at or like.
Do you think majority of people truly love acting and modeling and performing, or do they love the fame that it could possibly bring them, and that is why they're doing it and that's their drive?
I think that they love both, but then I think a lot of people just like, they just want the attention, and that's why those are the ones that don't become successful, because they're not able to do it repetitiously, like I said, and over again, and push through and take all of the rejection because they don't really love it. They just want the end result.
How do you decide?
And it's such a job in between. It is hard work. It's a job. And if you don't want to do that part, although it's nice to get little glimmers of like what the attention might be, because that can drive you to keep going further.
Why haven't you picked up anyone else to manage?
Because I am a small operation right now, so I'm just making sure that I can take you to where it needs to be. I mean, so I have so many amazing offers with people that want to work with me at the moment, but also to expand the management company, that would be me. Like amazing, like Gwen even wants to do something, okay? And she's amazing. And Nancy, I can't even say right now because she works for a massive company that would be mad. But like so many people want to work, and I would level it up to that place. But right now, I think because I know that you're not going anywhere, like I can give myself fully to you until I get it to a place where I'm like, this is like, tick that box, that's great. I can use that as a use case for the rest of my life. Like I was able to do this with Elsa Jean, Sapphire Hal, and make her this, and like really highlight the best parts of her. I'll be able to use that as my legacy forever. Be like, I did that, you know? So I prefer to just spend all the time in the world on that, get that done, and then be able to move on.
How are you going to decide who to work with after that?
It's going to be hard to follow you because you're like easygoing, friendly, my friend.
Because I tell you all the time, I'm like, you should manage so and so. I mean, not all the time, but I come to you. I'm like, my friends with this. I know you say no, and then I've suggested people since, and you're like, no. Are you just scared that they'll be too difficult?
I don't know. Yours is such a rewarding one. Like just because you're so. Oh my God, it's just going to sound like this podcast is just me going, you're so awesome. But it really is like,
well, now the moment that and look in the mirror and think, oh.
I'll get there eventually, but I want a lot of other people to do the heavy lifting for me. So I don't want to have to, like, I can't be one-on-one with everyone. There's only one of me. So I have to find extensions of me that would be able to carry the vision.
I get it.
Of like, so then I could be like, oh, this is what's great about them, this, and this. And then I can hand that to my other partners and be like, see me in a week's time and let me know how it's going.
I actually really get it. I think what you're trying to say is you really want to build an actual like company or an actual business, and you can't be hands-on with everybody. So you do really need a team of people. You seriously need an assistant.
Yes.
You really do. Besides picking up other people, you need an assistant.
And I have my own things too as well. Like I love my music. I love this podcast. So I want to be able to stay a little bit like personality too. I like this kind of the front end of things also. I hope that doesn't fade all the way away.
Are you ever going to go back to Australia? That was not a good segue, but
I like it there.
That wasn't the question.
It's so expensive. So a business class flight is $15,000 to Australia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard, actually, for places. Because I thought about it.
Money bags.
It's actually they're really pricey now. And unfortunately, it's pretty standard for actual first class and business, and unfortunately,
I prefer that as a birthday present, but
really, well, no, I want to get you something that's well, geez, I don't know.
I need to sign up for seeking arrangements.
Yes,
I'm looking for someone to host me to Australia flights.
But you don't like sex, and everybody knows you gotta.
Oh, what a bitch! I'm just bad in bed. I didn't say I didn't like it. I said they don't like it.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding.
What do you like better, Australia or LA?
Australia is more beautiful. Australia is gorgeous. It's clean. It's kind of similar to LA. LA is like Australia's dirty cousin that has like gross shit everywhere, but is also really well traveled.
People taking shits on the sidewalk.
But people here are so much more worldly though, and they have like, it just feels like closer to the rest of the world, where like Australia is just remote. It is. Yeah.
I mean, I lived there for 2 years, right?
What? I never
When I was 6 to 8. Oh. Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh my God. I feel like this could just be a podcast of you telling me facts again that you've already told me that I'm like, what? That is brand new information.
I lived there for 2 years. That was my favorite. It still might be my favorite
Whereabouts in Australia?
Queensland, but I couldn't tell you like the city. I was so young. I could ask my mom.
Shit.
I had the greatest time of my life. I remember those 2 years like so vividly, even though I was 6, 7, and 8. Like I remember going to a school called Christian College, and my other school was Herne Hill, I think.
Oh, I don't know Queensland that well.
Yeah, I know that. I think you said you were closer to Sydney. Right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun. You look like a hot fucking mess today, and I'm so glad
see, guys, I almost fell over. That's how much of a mess I am.
We are sweating.
You remember when you used to have to pick me up from guys' places, and I truly would be a hot mess, and I would reek like vodka.
That was so fun though. Like you would just come out with shoes in your hand, and like
sometimes not even shoes
sticking out. Oh, yeah, no shoes on.
Sometimes no shirt. I remember at one time I left a guy's place with no shirt. I was like, how did we fucking lose my shirt? What am I supposed to do?
And you're like, oh no, so-and-so's leopard got out of the backyard and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Somebody did
good times. I liked that fun times, gal.
I know. Somebody stole one of my ex's cheetahs.
Cheetahs? And he lived in LA, just in the streets.
And he lived in LA. He shouldn't have had a cheetah.
He shouldn't have had a cheetah.
And his ex came, stole the cheetah. This is not a lie. It's on camera too. Came, stole the cheetah, and dropped it off at the zoo.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Your friend was a fuckwit for having a cheetah.
He loved the cheetah.
But it's not supposed to be in a house.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. Yes. Don't steal a cheetah, and call the hotline. The hotline is, well, I can't remember
in our show number, but please call. Leave us a question. You can tell us a story about someone's cheetah getting stolen. You can not masturbate anymore.
Or do.
We're done saying that because we're going to get too many. If you want, call James personally. But please,
my number's in the show notes. We still have more questions. We'll ask them next time, but send us more. We can never have enough questions from you bitches. We love you so much. Have a good one.
Bye.